Hey guys, this is What If Deku had Cyclops' powers part 2. And honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. Bro, he about to crash out, bro. So we start our story off last when we left off, after Zuko would have been pretty much, I guess, sidestepped by some sort of mysterious figure that would have told him that his lineage is more powerful than he possibly can think of, and that he has a brother and he has other people like that, but Deku just thinks he's pretty much just mouthing off, just yapping. So what happened is we would switch to Izuku going to school the next couple days. The next following day, as Izuku would have walked into class, him just chilling, everybody just chilling. Eventually, them getting interrupted by All Might. All Might would have told the students that they were going to do combat training today and to get ready and to get your hero costumes on. All Might pressing a button and everybody looking around as the room would have opened up walls or holes and pushing out suitcases with their names or numbers on them. As Izuku would have grabbed his suitcase, opening it up and seeing the X logo and the visor, and him kind of smirking, as it would have been his father's old suit, but with a little bit more modifications on it. It being a little bit more modernized and having a little bit of a slit on the top of it. So to put it simple, the suit would have been similar to, I guess, actually not Splash. It's going to be the same Jubilee suit that Cyclops has, with the hair and the visor and the yellow and blue with the straps. It's just that just on Zuko's body. So Zuko puts the suit on and is extremely happy by this, and honestly is super pumped, as Zuko was told by Kirishima that the suit is awesome and that he actually really much appreciates the logo, as he was a big fan of the old First Class X-Men team of the Golden Age. And basically, they start talking a little bit about the X-Men, actually, after Ida would have told everybody the X-Men were a very factual team, and actually one of the very first superhero teams, or hero teams, when Quark started to develop. And Quarks used to be a huge thing, as humanity was trying to pretty much curse out Quarks and literally just go against it. Hunting down people that had Quarks and basically just making them think of them as cattle or monsters or not even human. So put it simple, they literally just hunted them down. And that's how the whole universe of mutants, or I guess Quark users, being hunted and being pretty much, hated on. Eventually, their influence and the Quark gene starting to develop a lot faster, and people eventually deciding to accept Quarks and make Quark kind of a criteria to become good in the world of My Hero. But before all of that, the first hero team, the X-Men, were fighting for those rights and those privileges alongside Charles Xavier, young Charles, as it was a huge debacle with Magneto. And Magneto will be a very central character in this fanfiction, and also will be kind of a right-hand man to All For One. So we start our story, we continue our story after that, all that talking I was saying earlier. We see Zuko has his costume on, and they all walk out as they're all teamed up. As Izuku's teamed up with Ochaku, and they start to get ready to go. Izuku and Ochaku get going, as Ochaku basically tries to make a plan, but Izuku has a little bit of, not training, but he needs to get more filled, because he's not at the same, tactical thinking and strategic thinking Scott Summers is at. So he's not at that level. But we see Izuku basically look at Ochaku and say that he has a game plan and might work perfectly. So he says that we might want to team up and try to go up against Bakugo at once and kind of try to overpower him and go one by one. Because when Bakugo's out, we can take him out pretty easily with both of our help and both of our combined powers, and we can also pretty much force and grind our way up the stairs against Ida and win. So they team up and they start to walk down the hallways. So they walk down the hallways, as eventually they hear yelling as Bakugo comes up behind them, blowing a wall in and throwing an explosion behind them. Izuku grabs Ochaku and chucks her out the way, or pushes her out the way. Izuku's blown into a nearby pillar and almost knocked out unconscious. Izuku gets back up and basically shoots a laser beam at Bakugo, pushing Bakugo on his back. Bakugo gets back up, as Bakugo in this continuity, just for plot reasons, is a little bit more, I guess, I would say animalistic. Bro is like on demon time. He's crashing out. Like, Bakugo's a lot more of a top tier crash out in this universe. So Bakugo starts to throw more explosions towards Deku, as Deku starts to dodge out the way faster and faster. Eventually, him starting to do straight up Nightcrawler type acrobatics and flipping out of the way. Him basically kind of not landing the moves and kind of just wobbling off, since he's not too athletic to a point where he's like Daredevil type athleticism. But he's fast enough to dodge blasts and explosions enough so he doesn't get killed. Bakugo goes throwing explosions left and right towards Deku, as Deku eventually dodges the way and tells Bakugo to relax as he punches Bakugo dead in the face. Bakugo gets sent down to the ground. Bakugo goes back up and pulls his pin, saying, "Damn you, nerd," as he basically pulls the pin, as Izuku is literally having his life flash before his eyes. Deku pulls off his visor, trying to stop the explosion and trying to minimize it, kind of push it back, as the explosion collides with Izuku's big amount of energy. Pause! Izuku releases a huge amount of energy, blasting a huge, straight up the explosion kind of almost destroys the entire building and collapses majority of its integrity, and pretty much collapses about 3 to 6 different buildings, or 3 to 6 different rooms in the hallway, and connected to the hallway. Sorry, I'm just talking real fast. So we see the aftermath as Ochaku is basically kind of beat up, as she kind of just tells Deku that she's gonna meet up with Ida and try to stop him, but she tries to go up the stairs. Bakugo throws the explosion towards her, knocking her down to the ground. As he's about to throw another explosion at her, thinking Deku's already knocked out and he's about to win, as Deku shoots him with an energy blast up the shoulder, sending Bakugo down a flight of stairs, knocking him out cold, breaking a few bones. As Izuku puts his visor back on, or he has his visor back on, so he basically just turns it off, as he runs over to Ochaku and helps her up. They start to go up the stairs, and Ochaku says she's okay as she starts to limp up the stairs alongside Izuku. Izuku having a few broken ribs, but nothing too deep or nothing too damaged. As Izuku walks into the room, as he sees the bombs just sitting there. He's about to run over there, but he gets basically sidestepped by Ida. Ida starts to talk, I am a villain. You will not stop me. Some bullshit like that. So Izuku just gets kind of pissed off and throws another energy blast, basically as big as last time, towards Ida to try to end the fight really quickly. Since he's not really in the mood, and he knows that if he goes on to fight Ida longer than he should, his broken ribs will probably catch up to him and he'll probably go into freaking shock or something. As eventually Ochaku tries to grab Ida, as Ida starts to run out the way and basically sidesteps the absolute snot out of Ochaku's stomach, kicking her dead into a pillar. As Izuku runs behind, Ida grabs his engines and starts to just yank him, pushing Ida off his balance and having to fall down to the ground. Ida tries to side sweep or kick sweep Ida or Deku, as Deku jumps out the way and does a whole cartwheel as he shoots another energy blast towards Ida, pushing Ida into a pillar as Ida would have gotten back up. Ida looking towards Izuku and saying that you can't just do this, and I'm a villain and you're a pathetic little hero, as Deku just says to stop with the whole charade, bro, like you're doing too much, as he starts to throw another energy blast towards Ida, as Ida's starting to super speed past them. Deku sees that he's kind of being too slow for Ida, as Ida's getting faster and faster and getting closer and closer towards Deku. Deku dodges out of one of Ida's kicks, but doesn't dodge the other one as Ida kicks him square in his broken rib, as basically Deku gets sent into an agonizing pain and falls down to the ground, as he's starting to seize up, as Izuku knows that he might lose. So Izuku takes off his visor and pretty much blasts a huge amount of energy point blank towards Ida. Ida gets sent flying into the ceiling into another room, getting knocked out cold. Izuku passes out as Ochaku gets back up and basically walks over, as since Ida's knocked out, they automatically win. Izuku gets rushed to Recovery Girl, same with Bakugo and Ida, and also Ochaku, as they're all basically tended to, and everybody's shocked at the pure disarray of like strength and power Izuku just freaking unleashed and ripped off, as everybody's kind of shocked by this power. Everybody's shocked and kind of impressed of Bakugo and Deku's display of power and fighting, but also almost a little bit just, I don't know, hesitant. Almost like, bro, why did you guys go so hard? Like, y'all did not have to go that hard. Pause. But like, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Every time I do this fan fiction, this part, everybody starts to get beaten up like real bad. I mean, goddamn. But Azuku's suit is slightly damaged, but he does get fixed up when he goes to the mansion later that day to get it fixed up and stitched back up. So Azuku's suit gets stitched back up by one of the pretty much, I guess, superhero hero designers or suit designers at the school, as it's one of Beast's children. Beast's kids, or Hank McCoy's kids, as he's pretty handy with his hands, as he basically has the same powers as Hank McCoy, just he can transform back to back, kind of like how Hank McCoy can in X-Men Apocalypse, or X-Men First Class. So he can basically just control it. So what happened is, well, let's just say Azuku would have gotten his suit back in condition and kind of tweaked up to be a little bit more durable, as Azuku would have walked through the campus of, well, this whole place, as basically we do know there are some locations of Charles Xavier's gifts, Charles Xavier's school for gifted youngsters in different locations of their school around the globe, and one of them they do have a Japan area, as this area has majority of like other X-Men members' kids. He walks over and basically he looks around as he eventually finds Izu from earlier. Izu says hi to Izuku, saying that he's just doing some work down here and he was going to visit him and his family a few days later. But I guess fate had another way of telling me that I need to see you. But Izu would have told Izuku that something might be going on and somebody might be after your family, or, well, you. Izuku's confused, saying, what do you mean? As he says that it's some sort of evil figure that's been basically terrorizing some of the younger groups of the X-Men around the world. The pit is simple. The X-Men have like their own internship program and other things like that, and they do have some super teams like the X-Force and Fighter Fight, or I guess Fighter Fight, I think that's what it's called, or F-Wing, I don't know what it's called, but other X-Men teams that are related to the X-Men are basically a part of the X-Men organization and are basically teams spread around the entire globe. So what happened is he said that it was something going down in North Carolina with some of our other members like Kitty Pryde, as it's something going down there, and it has to do something with the Summer family, your lineage. Suzuki's confused, saying, what do you mean? As what would happen is, well, Izzy would have said that something's going down and we don't know what's happening. As Izuku's confused, saying, I think I met the person you're talking about. He came at me, he came at me yesterday, actually. As basically, Izu says, why did you not tell anybody? He says that I was scared. I'm sorry. As Izu was said that if he's in Japan and he was in North Carolina since, well, yesterday, he must have some sort of teleportation power or quirk. Maybe even multiple quirks. You told me he shot energy at you? As Suzuki would have said, yes, he did. As he said something about my family, my brother and my sister, and that something's coming and it's coming hard. As Izu would have been kind of immature saying pause, but basically they would have both looked at each other and Izu would have told him to stay quiet, stay put, and try not to be out late, and try to lock your doors and be safe at all times. And also have your guard on, okay? Have your guard on at all times, because we don't know when he's going to come back, and maybe we don't even know why he spared you. He probably just wants to toy with you before he kills you. But something's happening, and we need to stick together, okay? As Izu tells, Izuku that it is going to be an X-Men member around your house 24/7, around the clock when you're at home, to keep you safe, and also to keep your mom safe. As Izuku says, which X-Men member? As he says, you'll find out sooner or later. But I'm going to let you go back home, and I'm going to go and do a little bit more investigating. So Izu walks off and tells Izuku to be safe, as Izuku's confused and honestly kind of on edge. And I'm going to leave it off here, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you like and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a blessed day. Deuces.